These beautiful weapons are both made by Ruben Camara of Camara Knives. If you don't know Ruben Camara, you should. He is a knife maker out of Brampton, Ontario, and let me tell you, he makes nice products. I have 2 of his products, and I'm looking to buy more in the future. And if you're Canadian and want to shop Canadian, I highly recommend Ruben. I will put a link to his Instagram in the description. Now, what I'm doing here is some bag work and some shadow boxing with my knife draws. I'm mainly working on the Medusa edged weapon system kind of formula here, but you'll also see me doing some Western Piper method in here. And, I love practicing knife combatives. My main thing to do in my solo training is stuff like this. I just really enjoy it. Does this mean I want to do this to another person? No. Does this mean that this is all I practice? Absolutely not. I am far from a one-trick pony. I do a lot of different things. I do a lot of different martial arts. I am a 30-plus year practitioner of Filipino martial arts, Muay Thai, and other martial arts, as well as knife combatives. I love martial arts. When I show knife combatives videos, the comments I get are kind of interesting. People will tell me things like, as I said before, I'm committing murder. Without any context to the video whatsoever, this is simply training. And it is no more training to commit murder than shooting a target or training to use a sword or anything like that. I do spend a lot of my own time working on this kind of stuff because I enjoy it. I'm really enjoying my journey in Western Piper under Dean Franco. It is a lot of fun, but I do a lot more than this. I train in pugilism. I train in eskrima. I use sticks all the time. I spar all the time. I have a lot of fun. And, this is not the be-all and end-all of my training. But this is what I enjoy doing, and this is something I enjoy sharing with others because I believe it's important that there are people out there who are trained just for that worst-case scenario. Now, is this the only training I do for that worst-case scenario? I just said no. I am a fairly well-rounded martial artist. I should do more ground fighting and grappling, but you know what? I do this for enjoyment. And that is something that is a little hard on my body these days with my osteoarthritis. And so I stick to what I can do, and I try to become very proficient at weapons training because that's kind of my specialization. And if people want to learn that kind of stuff, I am happy to share it with them if they are right-minded for my personal philosophy and fit in with me. Now, the knife combative stuff, I don't just teach to anybody. It's not an open class. People are vetted. I only pass it on to people I know. And if people want to train in it, they have to sit down and talk with me so I can get a feel for who they are. Because I would not want this kind of information getting into the wrong hands, or the information that is the base of this training. So, Western Piper, Medusa, let's just say I don't share the finer points of these systems with just anybody. People need to be vetted to be in my Knife Combatives program, and I think that is very important. You want the right people learning this kind of stuff. You want people with a very sober mindset, with a mindset that isn't easily pulled into egotistical confrontations. Because if you are, these skills might be a detriment to you, your society, and your family. Because the level of force I am training for in here is not something that is appropriate for most self-defense situations. The force I'm using before I draw the knives? Yeah, maybe. But having the knife out and gouging the eyes, slashing the eyes there, that kind of stuff is pretty extreme, and you'd have to be fighting for your very life to be doing something like that. So while these empty hand strikes have a lot of place in martial arts and in self-defense, this part here is very limited. So understand that if you're training these kind of knife combatives, have some good empty hand skills to back you up. because there's very, very few incidents that require the use of a blade or a gun. I find it interesting that people will watch people training some shooting, practicing target hitting, and will never have to have them explain that over and over again. But if you are a edged weapons enthusiast and you post stuff on social media, you will constantly have to explain yourself to people about the use of force. And if you're going to train in the use of edged weapons and you don't understand appropriate use of force and use of force laws in your community, country, culture, then you are being very irresponsible. You need to know how to scale your use of force, and you need to know why you are going to use a specific level of force. What reasons are there? What possible justification that will keep you a reasonable person in the eyes of the law? Well, this is a very small portion of what I do on a weekly basis when it comes to training. This is also something that I enjoy doing, so I do it quite a bit. But my partner drills, my sparring, and all of that other stuff takes a lot of my time as well. Now, if you're going to train this kind of stuff, understand that if you live in Canada, carrying a weapon for the purpose of self-defense is not necessarily legal, or it could be construed as a weapon dangerous to the public peace. As long as you understand the legal ramifications, it is up to you what you do with that. Keep in mind, knives are tools first. They aren't weapons unless you use them as such. Thank you.